Have you recently purchased a new or used vehicle, or perhaps you're researching for a new or used vehicle, but you're wondering how to set up and use all the technology that we find in a driver's information system and the infotainment screen? If so, you're at the right place. Hi folks, I'm Nathan with Two Guys in a Ride, and today I'm going to show you how to do just that. But before I do, take a moment to give us a like and hit that subscribe button down below. Let's get started.
Today we're working with our friends at Luther Mankato Honda in Mankato, Minnesota.
Welcome to our how-to on the 2021 Honda Ridgeline, and this is the Sport Edition. And so we're going to start with the driver's information screen, and we're talking about the little 4.2-inch screen right in the middle. And to control that, you're going to use these buttons right down here on the right side of the steering wheel. Basically, you have an up and you have a down and you have a reset. So if I click the up arrow, I get oil life, tire pressure, and then trip B and trip A, and then I can press and hold reset in this screen to change to kilometers per hour. And then if I want to change back, I just press it again. The only other thing that you can control on the screen up here is on the left-hand side of the steering wheel. You do have audio controls and media controls. So you've got this one, and then these control your volume and these control your sources. So if I look at the screen here, if I press source, then I can use my arrows to scroll through the different sources. Then if I use the plus and minus button, I get a volume that shows up. And then if I hit the top and bottom buttons right here, okay, if I hit the top one, it's actually not going to show anything up on the screen, but if I look over at the infotainment screen, you see it's changing between apps. And then the bottom button brings up just sort of a, hey, here's what these buttons on the screen will do. And that's what you can change in the driver screen. So Honda's made it very simple. They've gone away from all the menus and stuff that you typically see, and it's just two buttons that brings you to the only information that you can see. And then if you need to reset anything again, you just hit the reset button. So it's very simply laid out. Now, in addition to that, you have an RPM gauge that's analog. You've got an engine temperature that's analog. You've got a fuel gauge. And I do like the digital speedometer on the top. That is a nice sized readout. Really is very, very visible while you're driving. All right, next we're going to move over and talk about the infotainment system. So the infotainment system itself is an 8-inch screen, which is standard across all Ridgeline models now. This particular truck has a 215-watt audio system with 7 speakers and a subwoofer. And it has Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, AM and FM radio, and Bluetooth. Now, the screen itself, the graphics have been refreshed a little bit, and it's a little bit easier to read. Some of the outlines right here and the different colors. Now, I've changed the color from the traditional Honda blue to an amber color, but basically, you'll see a lot of little dots, like there's things to the left here, but there are none. They're all blank screens. This little button here takes you to a screen where you can, if you download widgets, they'll show up here, and then you can look at different apps like a web browser, a calculator, and then you can look at some settings. But all of these settings are available throughout the system in other ways. Okay, so let's go back to home. This menu button won't do anything on the home screen, but what it will do is when you're in a particular icon, say a phone or audio, it will bring up a sub menu. Like for instance, in audio, there's no sound source, no way to change your treble and bass balance. But if you click on menu, now you can go to sound, and you can get your treble and bass, you can get your fade balance, your subwoofer, and then of course your speed sensitive volume setting. And that's all with that one button. If I am, for instance, on my phone and I press that menu button, now I get a whole different menu that shows up: speed dial, redial, text, email, that kind of stuff. And then I can click on settings, and I can adjust like ringtone and that kind of stuff on my phone when it's connected to the car. So that button will activate only in certain apps when you need additional information. You do also have a brightness and dimness control. If I touch it once, it brings it up, and then you can adjust it here. You can touch it again, and it will automatically dim it to like a nighttime view, and then it will actually turn the screen off. And then what you have to do, you can't touch the screen. You need to touch the actual button, soft touch button here again, and then it will bring it back up again. On top, you've got a clock. You've got Bluetooth your indicator on your phone. You've got a battery gauge for your phone, and then you've got internet signal on your phone. And then, of course, you do have a shortcut button up here. If I click on audio, it goes right to audio there for me. All right, coming back to the main screen, if we go into phone, I've already gone ahead and hooked my phone via Bluetooth here. So it brings it right into Apple CarPlay, which I've also hooked up, but you got Google Maps right here. And because this vehicle does not come with navigation, but you don't need it. You can use Google Maps, you can use Apple Maps, you can use Waze, lots of different things. You can do Apple Music right there, and then you get right to your phone right here, and you have all your recent contacts, keyboard, voicemail, that kind of stuff. And then if I press on here, you get to take a look at all the icons that'll show up. So this was a split screen, so I've got media, I've got directions, and I've got Google Maps. And I've got, let's see, all sorts of things here. Where is, I'll show you, there's Amazon Music. And of course, Sirius XM shows up in there. You got Waze. So Pandora, lots of things that are, you can get through Apple CarPlay. Really, really nice. Okay, I'm gonna hit the home button there. Now, let's go to info for a minute. Under info, you have your trip computer, voice info, clock and wallpaper, and then system device information. I'm gonna go to a trip computer. Okay, here you get current drive and then history of trip A if you want. And then you can delete the history there. If I go into info again, I go to voice info. So phone commands that I can give through the voice command system and on-screen commands. I can go into voice settings. Okay, and do I want the voice prompt on or off? Voice recognition volume, if you don't like how loud the automated assistant is talking to you. One press voice operation on or off. And then again, if you want it, if you want it off, let's go back into here for a minute. If you want it on or off, you just click right there, and then you can click on or off. And I'll hit the back button. Okay, now that's voice recognition. Sound and beep, you can adjust those volumes. Again, to do any one of them, you click on them, and then you can just adjust the volume, and then press OK when you're done. And then you have a display. You can change the background colors here. So I can have amber, red, or violet. I'm gonna go with amber. Okay, and there it changes. And then you can also set it back to the default. Now you also have an all button here, which is, you have everything that we looked in here all together in one. And then you can just scroll through those to get them. All right, you can adjust your clock right here. And then you can fix the time here and hit reset if you want, or okay. Oh, let's go back to home. Okay, let's click on audio and take a look at what's in there. Of course, right now I am on FM radio. If I want to change sources, I can click on source, and then I can click any one of these. Let's talk about how to scroll and tune. So you've got scan button that'll go through and find stations, lock on them for a second, and then continue. You can press scan when you want to stop on a station. You've got a physical tune button right here that just does it by individual digits. And then you've got a seek. All right, so here's your presets right here. If I click the arrow, it just keeps going to more presets, right? And I just hit any one of them and it changes. I've got this little bump right here. If I click on this, it's gonna raise the screen up. And I get two things. First of all, it's just a station list. So if you're looking for news, right there. If you're looking for sports, right there. And then you can try these other ones out. If you hit presets, these are your actual presets. And you can scroll through and just select which one you want. But it's the same as what scrolls at the bottom of your screen here. So let's say you want to make a preset. All right, so I'm going to use the tune button here just to go to something that's not on there. 88.5. If I click and hold on any one of these, you'll hear a little beep, and now it's set. And that's how you set your station. Okay, let's go down to settings. If I click on settings here, okay, so here's another spot to get into clock and info. There's another spot to get to your audio settings. Here you can get into Bluetooth and Wi-Fi here. You get into your phone there. You can get into the camera, and you can look at your smartphone. But the two that we're going to take a look at are system and vehicle. And we saw this earlier, but you can again adjust it here. It's a little easier just to go to settings and then get it from there. You can adjust your clock. Again, the third place you can adjust your clock, and then you have others. So you've got touch panel sensitivity, detail information, factory data reset, and then the language. Now you notice I've got little arrows up here. So if I scroll over, then over here I've got all the settings in one little window. I can talk about the display, and I can do the sound and beep. Now we've seen these before. It's just a little different way to get to it. All right, so let's go back and let's go to vehicle. So in here we've got the driver assist system set up, and this is where you're going to get a lot of your safety systems. So forward collision warning distance. If I click on it, I can have it long, normal, or short, and you just click on it to change it. I'm going to go back a button. Adaptive cruise control, forward vehicle detect beep. Okay, that's so when you're have cruise control on, and when the vehicle in front of you leaves, it'll beep at you to let you know to look up and pay attention and get going. You've got road departure mitigations. You can have that normal, wide, or warning only. And then you have lane keeping assist, suspend beep. You can have that on or off. All right, we'll go back one more. You can do your keyless access setup here, and you can set up how your door unlock, whether the lights flash, whether your horn beeps, and then you have the remote start system, and you can turn that on or off, so you don't have to have that. Now, one of the really nice features, I think, is a walkaway auto lock, and that's either disable or enable. And what that means is if you have your key fob in you and you walk away from your vehicle about 10 feet from the vehicle, as long as that key fob's in your pocket, it will automatically lock the vehicle for you. All right, and that's there. And let's go to maintenance info. Okay, oil life. That's where you can reset that right there. And then you can do the door setup here, so you can have the set up the door to auto door lock, auto door unlock, and then that will depend on a couple of things. So let's just take a look at that. But you can have the door lock with a certain vehicle speed, or when you shift from park, it just locks them automatically, or turn that feature off, and then you have to manually lock the door. If I do with vehicle speed, I could say okay, and then at about 5 miles an hour, it'll automatically lock the doors on you. Now I'm going to undo that one because I don't want that on. This is not my car. All right, and then if we go down a little bit farther, you got tailgate power locking, on or off. So enable or disable, and just click on it. And go back. All right, that was all under door setup. Okay, so lots of things under vehicle setting. And then of course, you can always hit the default to go back to whatever the setting was from the factory. All right, I hope this has been helpful. Thanks for watching.